Hi students, a very good morning to everyone. So today we are going to see the book back work in unit 1, that is in the first prose. Okay, so it is in page number 8 of your book. Okay, listen, reading. So reading is to the mind what exercise is to the body. So நம்ம எப்படி நம்மளோட பாடிக்கு as how we are doing exercise, as how exercise is important to the body, reading is important to the mind. Okay. Have you ever counted the number of words you read in an hour? So நம்ம எப்பயாச்சும் ஒரு 1 hourல நம்ம எவ்வளவு words படிச்சிருக்கோம்? So whether we have counted it. The average reading speed of an educated adult is approximately 15,000 to 18,000 words per hour. Okay, so the average reading speed of an educated adult, average reading speed of an educated person is approximately 15,000 words to 18,000 words per hour. Okay, so you try reading how much, you try to calculate how much you are able to read in an hour. Okay, so if you read 4 hours a day, you are likely to go through 60,000 words daily. See, if we are reading 4 hours per day, how many words we will be reading? We will be going through 60,000 words per day. Think of how much we can learn in our life. So as you go through this process, you would be able to acquire several skills such as, so when we are reading 60,000 words per day, we will be able to acquire some skills such as intensive and extensive reading. So what is meant by intensive reading and extensive reading? Okay, so intensive reading means it is a thorough reading, that is reading in detail. Extensive reading means it is reading for pleasure. Okay, for example, how we will be preparing for our exams? We will be preparing intensively, that is we will be reading very thoroughly, that is intensive reading. And extensive reading means it is reading for our pleasure, like story books will be reading for our pleasure and for our time pass, like that. Okay, that is the difference between intensive reading and extensive reading. So we can able to acquire the skills such as intensive and extensive reading, grasping meaning from the context. Okay, so we can understand, we can grasp the meaning from what we are reading, expressing what you have understood in appropriate words. See, for example, when you are questioned in the classroom by the teachers. Okay, so if you are reading, if you have read and if you are thorough with that, you can answer very easily, or else you have to struggle. So likewise, நம்ம நிறைய படிச்சிருந்தனா we can express it by using proper words, or else there will be struggling in the expression. Okay, you would be able to learn various types of techniques like skimming, scanning, decoding and encoding. Okay, and also we will be able to acquire some techniques such as skimming, scanning, decoding and encoding. So what is mean by skimming? Okay, so skimming is, it is a overall reading like an extensive reading. Okay, if we are reading the newspaper in an urgency, enna pannuvom, we will be just reading the headlines alone, we will not go deep inside. That is called as skimming. Okay, next one is scanning. So what is scanning is, if we have time, if we are in leisure and if we have time, enna pannuvom, அந்த headlines க்கு கீழ இருக்க எல்லா நியூஸும் we will be reading very detailedly. Okay, that is called as scanning. Okay, reading overall, it is like almost like extensive reading, and scanning is almost like intensive reading. And what is decoding and encoding? So these words decoding and encoding has different meanings. Okay, so in reading, that is related, in relation to reading, what is the meaning of decoding in reading is, so listen, what is decoding is, decoding is the ability to apply your knowledge of letter sound relationships, including knowledge of letter patterns, to correctly pronounce written words. Understanding these relationships gives children the ability to recognize familiar words quickly and to figure out words they have not seen before. Okay, so listen. So decoding is the ability to apply your knowledge of letter sound relationship. So in English, okay, the sound and the letter will be different. For example, தமிழ்ல என்ன பண்ணுவீங்க, மா அப்படின்னு ஒரு லெட்டர் இருக்கு அப்படின்னா what is that, நம்மளோட இந்த லெட்டர் என்னன்னு ப்ரொனவுன்ஸ் பண்ணுவோம், மா. ஓகே, அதுவே நம்ம வேர்ட்ஸில் யூஸ் பண்ணும்போது மாங்காய், அப்பையும் அதை என்னன்னு தான் சொல்லுவோம், we will be calling it as ma. Okay, but in English it is not so. See, for example, G. Okay, so as a letter we will be pronouncing this as G. But when we use it in a word, for example, go. So inga nama idu G nu solradilla, what we are using, the sound differs, go. Leya, so this is the difference between Tamil letters and English letters. Okay, see W, this is W as a letter. Letter பார்த்தோம்னா W. பட் இங்கே நாலெட்ஜ் அப்படிங்கிற வேர்டில் Wங்கிற சவுண்டுக்கும் இங்கே வர சவுண்டுக்கும் there will not be any relationship இல்லையா. பட் தமிழில் அப்படி கிடையாது. என்ன வேர்டாக இருந்தாலும் இப்போ மாங்காய் அப்படின்னா மா இங், ஸோ நெக்ஸ்ட் லெட்டர் என்ன சொல்லுவோம், இங் சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா. ஸோ இது தனியாக நீங்கள் செப்பரேட்டாக லெட்டர்ஸாக ப்ரொனவுன்ஸ் பண்ணாலும் சேம் சவுண்டு தான். அதையே நீங்கள் வேர்ட்ஸில் பிகினிங்கில் எண்டில் ஆர் இன் பிட்வீனில் எங்கே ப்ரொனவுன்ஸ் பண்ணாலும் the sound will be same. But in the English it is totally opposite. Okay, so that is called as letter sound relationship. Okay, including knowledge of letter patterns to correctly pronounce written words. We have to know this letter sound relationship and letter patterns for what? எதுக்கு இதெல்லாம் நமக்கு தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும்னா, because it is very much important in pronunciation of words, that is whether reading words or written words, whatever it is. Understanding these relationship gives children the ability to recognize familiar words very quickly. So why we have to understand this relationship is because if we know the letter sound relationship, we will be able to, எவ்வளோ பெரிய hard word இருந்தாலும் we will be able to recognize and pronounce it very quickly and to figure out words they have not seen before. Figure out means to find out, to understand the words which we have not seen before. புதுசாக இப்போ இது முன்னாடி பார்க்காத ஒரு வேர்டாக இருந்தாலும் we can easily understand and read it and pronounce it. This is called as decoding in reading. Okay, so the next one is encoding. So what is mean by encoding in reading and what is the difference between decoding and encoding? Okay, so decoding involves translating printed words to sounds or reading. So print பண்ணியிருக்க வேர்ட்ஸை அதோட லெட்டர் சவுண்ட் ரிலேஷன்ஷிப்பை நம்ம அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணிவிட்டு அதை படிக்கிறதுக்கு பேர் தான் என்னது, decoding. Okay, and encoding is just the opposite. Okay, encoding is opposite of it, that is using individual sounds to build and write words. So what is encoding? It is using individual words, individual sounds to build and write words. Okay, ஒரு individual letter sound யூஸ் பண்ணி new words frame பண்ணுறது தான் என்னது, encoding. So this is the difference between decoding and encoding. Okay, so we will be able to learn some techniques like skimming, scanning, decoding and encoding, and also we will be able to acquire some skills such as intensive and extensive reading and grasping the meaning from the passage, and also to use appropriate words in our spoken. Okay, so see here, reading is the key to learning. Okay, now according to Edward Fry, there are 3 reading speeds. Okay, so according to Edward Fry, what Edward Fry says is there are 3 reading speeds: study reading speed, average reading speed and skimming speed. So study reading speed is generally used to read material which demands total comprehension and retention of its meaning. For example, while preparing for an examination. So while preparing for an examination, we should follow the study reading speed, because we have to read the material and we have to understand it, and we have to and retention of its meaning, we have to keep its meaning in the mind so that we can use it in the examination. So average reading speed is used for everyday reading of newspapers, magazines, stories, novels, etc. Okay. Skimming is the fastest reading speed. So like newspaper, ஒரு அர்ஜென்ட்டில் ஒரு நியூஸ் பேப்பரை பார்க்கணுன்னா என்ன பண்ணுவோம், அதோட ஹெட்லைன்ஸ் மட்டும் நம்ம பார்த்துட்டு ஓடி போயிடுவோம் இல்லையா, லைக் தட். Skimming is the fastest reading speed and is generally used for getting an overall idea of the material read. And scanning is another useful tool for speeding up reading. So scanning is also one of the tool in reading. While scanning, you look for the specific information without reading everything. So நம்ம ஸ்கேன் பண்ணுறப்ப என்ன பண்ணுவோம், ஜென்ரலாகவே ஸ்கேன்னா என்ன பண்ணுவோம், ஒரு ஸ்பெசிஃபிக் பாடி பார்ட்டை தான் ஸ்கேன் பண்ணுவோம், டோட்டல் பாடியை ஸ்கேன் பண்ண மாட்டாங்க இல்லையா. ஸோ லைக் தட் இன் ஸ்கேனிங், அதுக்கு நம்ம அங்கே என்ன நமக்கு இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் தேவையோ we will be searching for that. Okay, that is called as scanning. Okay. Next one, a few practical hints to help you do activities under reading comprehension passages. So this activities will help you to enhance your reading comprehension passages. So read the passage carefully and try to grasp its main theme. So enna pannano, we have to read carefully and grasp the main theme of the passage. Pay attention to the meanings of the words, that is connotation, phrases and sentences. You know what is mean by phrase, you know what is mean by sentence. Okay, what is connotation? So phrase means it is a it will not give a complete meaning, it will not have a verb. You know what is a sentence? Sentence is a combination of words so that it will be very meaningful. So what is connotation? It is a new term for you. Let me explain you what is mean by connotation. See, connotation is the use of a word to suggest a different association than its literal meaning. So literal meaning na enna, figurative meaning na enna, you might have studied in our lower class itself illaya. So connotation is the use of a word to suggest a different association than its literal meaning, which is known as denotation. For example, blue is a color, but it is also a word used to describe a feeling of sadness, as in she's feeling blue. Connotations can be either positive, negative or neutral. Let me explain you. See, what is mean by connotation is, in addition to its meaning, original meaning, it will be giving some additional meaning. That is called as connotation. Okay, in relation to its primary meaning, that is its original meaning, it will be giving some additional meaning. That is connotation. Okay, connotation is the use of a word to suggest a different association than its literal meaning. Literal meaning na enna, we have studied in our lower classes. ஒரு வேர்டை படிக்கும்போது அதோட ஆக்சுவல் மீனிங் என்னவோ அதுதான் லிட்ரல் மீனிங். ஓகே, ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் ரீடிங் அப்படின்னா என்ன, ரீடிங் மட்டும்தான், அதோட மீனிங் படிக்கிறது மட்டும்தான், தட் இஸ் லிட்ரல் மீனிங். ஓகே, ஸோ ஃபிகரேட்டிவ் மீனிங் அப்படின்னா போயமில், இப்போ நம்ம ஒரு போயம் லைனை படிக்கிறோம் அப்படின்னா the stars twinkles at me அப்படின்னா அதோட லிட்ரல் மீனிங் என்ன, ஸ்டார் என்னை பார்த்து ட்விங்கிள் பண்ணுது. அதோட ஃபிகரேட்டிவ் மீனிங் என்ன, the stars love me so that they are twinkling at me. ஸோ இப்போ அதுக்கு நம்ம என்ன பண்ணுவோம், இதோட ஃபிகர் ஆஃப் ஸ்பீச்சை நம்ம என்னன்னு சொல்லுவோம், பர்சானிஃபிகேஷன் சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா. ஸோ அந்த பர்சானிஃபிகேஷன், சிமிலி, மெட்டஃபர் இதெல்லாம் என்னது, இட் இஸ் அ ஃபிகரேட்டிவ் மீனிங். ஓகே, ஸோ அடிஷ்னல் அதுக்கு ஒரு லிட்ரல் மீனிங் இருக்குது. த ஸ்டார்ஸ் ஆர் ட்விங்க்லிங் அட் மீ அப்படிங்கிற சென்டென்ஸ்க்கு தேர் இஸ் அ லிட்ரல் மீனிங் அண்ட் ஆல்சோ தேர் இஸ் அ figurative meaning, the stars twinkles at me. Okay, so likewise literal meaning is original meaning and figurative meaning is some exaggerated meaning, that is figurative meaning. So here connotation is the use of a word to suggest a different association than its literal meaning, which is known as denotation. So and the figurative meaning நம்ம என்னன்னு சொல்லுவோம், denotation னு சொல்லுவோம். So your denotation is not matter for us now, so we have to deal only with the connotation. So connotation means apart from the literal meaning it will have some additional meaning, that is connotation. See, for example, for connotation is blue. Okay, so Blue na, immediately we will remember blue color. It is a color. But it is also a word used to describe it is also a word used to describe a feeling of sadness. Okay. Blue is also a word. அதுக்கு இன்னொரு meaning இருக்கு. She is feeling blue. See, she is feeling blue அப்படினா she is feeling very sad. So இங்க நாம இந்த color blue is a color அப்படிங்கிற meaning we cannot associate here. இங்க யாருமே நம்ம அப்படி அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணிக்கவும் முடியாது. Okay, she is feeling blue னா அவ blue கலர்ல இருக்காளா? No, that is not the meaning. Here in this sentence the meaning is she is feeling very sad. That is the meaning. So this is called as connotation. Okay, so blue is a color. It is the literal meaning of the word blue. That is original meaning of the word blue, because blue na immediate every one of us will remember the blue color. But what is the connotative meaning is she is feeling blue. Okay, she is feeling sad. Okay, so connotations can be either positive, negative or neutral. So and the connotative meaning வந்து it may be either positive connotation or negative connotation or neutral connotation. That is, it may give a positive meaning, negative meaning or neutral meaning. So இங்க she is feeling blue, it is an example for negative connotation. ஏன்னா sad இருக்காங்க அப்படிங்கிறது it is a negative thing இல்லையா? It is giving some negative sense. Happyங்கிறது it will give positive sense. Okay, so here it is, this sentence is an example for negative connotation, right? So pay attention to the meanings of the words, connotations, phrases and sentences. Grasp the manner in which the writer has developed his ideas and thoughts. So how the writer had used his ideas and the thoughts in the passage அப்படிங்கிறது we have to grasp, we have to understand. Read all the questions in the sequence and conceptualize the answer. So all the questions we have to read in order and we have to conceptualize the answers. Read the passage again, focusing on the content and answer the questions appropriately. Find accurate solutions for the vocabulary exercises too. So we have to read the passage twice and we have to focus on the content and we have to, so that we can answer the questions properly. Go through your answers to check spelling, punctuation and grammar, and finally we have to go through the answers to check the spelling, punctuation and the grammar. Okay, so this is about reading, how you have to read and how reading helps you. Now read the following passage on laughter therapy and answer the questions that follow. So I will explain you about this laughter therapy very shortly. I will go through this. So laughing is an excellent way to reduce stress in our life. It can help you to cope with and survive a stressful life. Laughter provides full-scale support for your muscles and unleashes means releases, makes free. Okay, and unleashes your rush of stress-busting endorphins. Endorphins means it is a chemical produced naturally by our nervous system to reduce our stress or pain. Okay, endorphin, it is a chemical produced by the nervous system of our body automatically, that is naturally when we are feeling stressed or painful. Okay, so laughter provides full-scale support for your muscles and unleashes a rush of stress-busting endorphins. So since our body cannot distinguish between real and fake laughter, anything that makes you giggle means என்ன சொல்கிறது, to laugh in a silly way. So பயங்கரமாக சிரிப்போம் இல்லையா, அதையாவது கேட்டுட்டு, that is giggling. Okay, will have a positive impact. So our body cannot distinguish between real laughter and fake laugh. நிஜமாக தான் நம்ம சிரிக்கிறோமா இல்லை சும்மா சிரிக்கிறோமாங்கிறதெல்லாம் our body cannot distinguish இல்லையா. Okay, next, laughter therapy aims to get people laughing in groups and individual sessions. So the laughter therapy, it will be practiced in the yoga. Okay, so it aims to get people laughing. The aim of the laughter therapy is to make the people laugh, because laughing will make us stress free. Okay, in groups and individual sessions and can help reduce, it will reduce stress, make people and employees very happier and more committed. Committed na dedicated in our work, as well as improve their interpersonal skills. Generally, whomever we meet in our life, or whomever we just imagine you are going for a shop, you are going for a market. நமக்கு தெரிஞ்ச ஒருத்தர் ஆப்போசிட்டில் வந்தால் என்ன பண்ணும்? ஜஸ்ட் ஷேர் அ ஸ்மைல். ஓகே, இட் வில் மேக் யூ ஹாப்பி அண்ட் ஆல்சோ யுவர் ஃப்ரெண்ட் ஹாப்பி. நின்று ஒரு half an hour பேசணுங்கிறதுலாம் இட் இஸ் நாட் நெசசரி. ஜஸ்ட் ஹாவ் அ ஸ்மைல் அட் தெம். ஓகே, இஃப் யூ ஆர் மீட்டிங் யுவர் ஃப்ரெண்ட், ரிலேஷன், நெய்பர் யாரையாவது நம்ம போகிற வழியில் பார்க்குறோன்னா ஜஸ்ட் ஹாவ் அ ஸ்மைல். ஸோ தென் யூ கேன் ரியலைஸ் இட் வில் மேக் தெம் ஹாப்பி அண்ட் ஆல்சோ யூ வில் பி ஃபீலிங் happy. So it will improve your interpersonal skills. This laughter comes from the body and not the mind. So this types of laughter comes from the body and not the mind. So laughter yoga, it is in a yoga term, it is called as Hasya yoga. Laughter yoga is a practice involving prolonged voluntary laughter. It aims to, so prolonged voluntary laughter means continuous நம்மளே வாலண்ட்ரியாக சிரிக்கிறது. ஓகே, யோகாவில் இது ஒரு ஹாஸ்ய யோகா. அப்படின்னா நம்மளே என்ன பண்ணுறது? கண்டினியூஸாக நம்மளே வாலண்ட்ரியாக சிரிப்பு வரலனாலும் we have to laugh. It is a yoga, type of yoga, right? It aims to get people laughing in groups. It is practiced in the early mornings in open parks. It has been made popular as an exercise routine developed by Indian physician Madan Kataria, who writes about the practice in his 2002 book Laugh for No Reason. Okay, so it is an exercise developed by whom? Indian physician Madan Kataria, who writes about the practice in his 2002 book Laugh for No Reason. So Laugh for No Reason is a book written by Madan Kataria, and adila he had written about this exercise. Laughter yoga is based on the belief that voluntary laughter provides the same physiological as well as psychological benefits as spontaneous laughter. So laughter yoga will enhance the physiological na enna, the way in which a living organism or body part functions, that is physiology. So psychological effects means producing some mentally relaxed benefits. Okay, so next one. So laughter yoga session may start with gentle warm up techniques, which include warm up techniques என்னன்னு தெரியும் இல்லையா? பிஃபோர் ஒரு அத்லெட் என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க? பிஃபோர் participating in a match or competition, they will be doing warm up techniques இல்லையா? Like that, warm up techniques which include stretching, chanting, clapping, eye contact and body movements to help break down inhibitions and encourage a sense of playfulness. எதுக்குன்னா, why they are doing warm up technique? Because they have to make their body get ready. டைரக்டாக வீட்டிலேருந்து வந்த உடனே ஒரு 1000 மீட்டர் ரன்னிங் ரேஸில் பார்ட்டிசிபேட் பண்ண முடியாது. they have to get up their body mentally and physically ready இல்லையா? So like that, here also they will be doing warm up techniques. Moreover, laughter is the best medicine. It is also a best medicine. Breathing exercise are used to prepare the lungs for laughter, followed by a series of laughter exercise that combine the method of acting and visualization techniques. 20 minutes of laughter is sufficient to augment physiological development. So நம்ம கூட ட்ரை பண்ணலாம் இல்லையா? So 20 minutes of laughter, daily 20 minutes if we are laughing, it is enough, it is sufficient, it is enough to augment means to increase the physiological functions and development of our body. So let us try. நம்மளும் இன்னையிலிருந்து ட்ரை பண்ணலாம் சரியா? So if we are laughing 20 minutes a day, it will increase all our physiological functions of our body. Okay, a handful of small scale scientific studies have indicated that laughter yoga has some medically beneficial effects, including cardiovascular health and mood. Okay, some scientific study says that laughter yoga has medically beneficial effects which deals with the cardiovascular health. Cardiovascular health means related to heart. This therapy has proved to be good for depressed patients. Depression is a big disease இப்போ இல்லையா? Depressionங்கிறது in the present lifestyle, it is a very big disease. So this laughter therapy is good for the depressed patients. This laughter therapy also plays a crucial role in social bonding. Social bonding na our bonding with the society, with our neighbors, with our family members, with our relatives, etc. Okay, so இன்னையிலேருந்து நம்ம ஒரு டெசிஷன் எடுக்கிறோம். என்னது? we are going to laugh 20 minutes a day. ஸோ அதுக்கு இவ்வளோ பெனிஃபிட்ஸ் இருக்காமா. It increases our physiological development. It is medically beneficial. It is good for our heart. It is good for depressed patients. ஓகே, ஸோ என்ன பண்ணுறீங்க? இன்னையிலேருந்து டெய்லி 20 minutes உங்கள் வீட்டில் இருக்க கிராண்ட்மா, கிராண்ட்பா, டேட், மாம் எல்லாரையும் கூப்பிட்டு உட்கார வச்சு அலாங் வித் தெம் யூ டு ஸ்டார்ட் லாஃபிங். சும்மாவே ஸ்டார்ட் லாஃபிங். ஒருத்தர் சிரிக்க ஆரம்பிச்சிடும், நம்மளை பார்த்து எல்லாரும் சிரிக்க ஆரம்பிச்சிருவாங்க. அவங்கள பார்த்து நம்ம சிரிப்போம். லைக் தட் டெஃபினெட்லி we can laugh for more than 20 minutes. ஓகே, ஸோ நமக்கு இது குட் இல்லை, நமக்கு இது தேவையில்லை அப்படின்னாலும், நீங்களா யங்ஸ்டர்ஸ் தேவையில்லைனாலும் டெஃபினெட்லி இட் இஸ் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் ஃபார் யுவர் parents and grandparents, right? Okay, now answer the following. So below are given some questions. You have to, after reading the passage, I have gone faster, so you have to go through it deeply. And what is the reading technique ingaradhum we have seen earlier illaya. So go through this passage deeply and answer all these questions. See, we have till F question வரைக்கும் இருக்கு நமக்கு இல்லையா? we have till F question, so answer all these questions. Okay, so in this video we have seen the book bank topics. Okay, so what is pending is grammar is pending in this. Let me post the next video as a grammar video. We will see articles and determiners. Okay, so I hope every one of you have understood. Thank you.